Right. Good afternoon, everyone. So welcome back to the class. Today's session is about formal email writing. Right. So I see some of you have joined, but I'm sure many of you are still in the process of joining. Before I start with today's lecture, I would like to ask you about your last lecture with me about article writing. Is there any problem in that? I hope everything is clear. In case you have any query, any concern, you can ask me now. Otherwise, I will start with this chapter. We just have one class for this chapter, so I will be, continuously teaching today. I will not answer any question which is related to other chapters. So if there is any problem, ask me now. Otherwise, we'll just start with it. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so let's start. I'm assuming there is no problem. So let's start with today's class. Now, what are what is formal email writing? What do we understand by it? Before that, what is email writing? Almost all of us, and in fact, in every human's life these days revolves around email writing. Whether it's writing an email to your family and friends, or whether you're writing an email to some company for some concerns, whether you're writing an email to your college or to your school, to your child's school, everything is these days is working on emails. Sort of initially, or before this, we were more accustomed to the fact of writing letters and then sending out those letters. We still do that, but we also do the email writing right away. We might have to send some documents over to somebody in as in hard copy, but still we prefer to first email those things to them, right? So now email is the I would say it has always been a very revolutionary step in this world of internet, which made it possible for us. And this has changed everything, right? Earlier, when people used to travel abroad and, they used to be apart from their family for years, I mean, the only way they could reach out to them was either letter writing or phone calls. Phone calls used to be very expensive those days. But of course, internet has made everything possible nowadays. Even the phones are free, and you just make a phone call. And email is, of course, the better way of approaching people and talking to them and whatever concerns you have, because email is something that just reaches to somebody with just a click within a second. It will not take days to reach. Even in the letter writing, it used to take days for the letter to reach. Even with the country also, you at times take time. These things are being changed by these logistic partners these days, but if you go by simple speed post or simple thing, it takes time to reach. The letters will take some time to reach. So emails are the way where you can actually approach people in urgent matters, or urgently if you want to speak to somebody. Right. So now writing and posting letters are not really part of our lives these days. Email is. Now, what email is? The full form of email is electronic mail. Of course, it is acting as mail or it is acting as a letter only, but it is electronic because it is sent electronically, right? So this is why the short is email. Now, what is email writing? What it comprises of this entire process. Now, email writing. Now, this involves the process of composing. When I say composing, it means that you have to first compose the message. You have to first write what you want to send, right? And there's a proper format to it that you need to follow, and it has to be properly done, right? Then you have to, of course, send the email that you have written. There's another thing that you can do by email is storing. Whenever you write an email to somebody and you send it, that information or that thing is stored in your email forever till the time you delete it yourself, right? So storing. I don't know how many of you do that, but I use my email for storing purposes also in case I want to share, in case I want to save some document for my personal reference for future or some link or something. So I email it to myself. Okay, so that is the best way to store rather than storing on the systems, different systems, right? So and of course it's handy because I can use my email anywhere on my phone or iPad or system or anybody else's system. So this is more approachable for me. I have everything intact with me and with me all the time. So the things that I feel that I might use any time in life, I keep them on my email. So storing is a very good thing. Then, of course, receiving messages. Of course, you receive them. Where there is sending, there has to be receiving also. So now, this is what you actually do on emails. You compose, you send, you receive the things, and you can store them as well. Right now, this is the what basic. This is the basic about what email writing is. Okay. Uh, Now, email writing can be used for any person, anybody, right? It can be used for family, it can be used for friends, it can be used for the strangers also. I think it's a very good way to approach people whom you don't know personally at all. You can just write them an email if you want to approach somebody for a job or you want to take somebody's favor. So I think this is the best way of reaching out to people, right? Now, so of course, within the organizations, so I mean, 5 people are working on one project. Okay. And it's not possible, or it might not be possible to, whenever there is a development, you are, approaching every person and saying, this has been changed, or this is what we need to do, or, let's just talk about these things. No, but of course, in one click, you can send it to all these 5 people, everything, so that everybody's on the same page. Even if 2 people are amongst these 5 people are discussing something that they are working on internally in the project only, but at least everybody, the other 3 should also know what is happening in the project. So if you work on emails, if you talk on emails, if there's a communication on emails, then everybody's on the same page. So it is actually a good way of communicating these days, right? Now, why people started using email writing, why people moved, and why this became such an important part of everybody's life. Why do you think this happened? Why do you think people moved to email and they became used of emails writing over the years? For a few reasons. One, this is a written way of communicating with somebody, right? So this makes it more reliable. Then, of course, it's a fast mode. This is I think, the most fast mode of communication. I mean, you just press the button send and the other person receives it right away. Right, so this is the best way of communicating with people. It allows you to interact and seek and share information with all kinds of entities, suppliers, customers, colleagues, peers, relatives, friends, even family. Now, it does not have any foundation. You can just talk to anybody on over emails. I just told you that. And it allows you to interact and seek and share information. You can share as much as information you want on emails, right? This is also the best method because this connects you with people within the boundaries or beyond the boundaries, right? Somebody sitting in US and you both work together for something. You manage India part, the other person manages the US territory or US part of the world. Same business, but you can always but you guys can always work together because of emails, right? Because sharing information and getting information has become very easy because of this, right? Otherwise, if you're working with somebody over the seas, you can't keep waiting for somebody to share the information with you on the letters and then you take the next step ahead. This is not how you do the business. So because you are with each other all the time through emails, that is how these things can be manageable, right? Now, when you're writing email to your family and friends, when you're writing email to an organization, when you're writing an email within your organization also, what changes is no, Deyansh, email and fax are different things. They're not same. Earlier, we used to have phones and fax, or we still have fax, but internet is a better way of using it, a better way of communicating with people. Okay, so now what changes in the emails is just the way in any writing style, writing skill, language, and style. Okay, that differentiates formal email from informal email, and this is the semi-formal email. Now, there are three types of email writing that we do. Formal is nothing that I need to explain you about. Formal is, of course, when you're talking to somebody in the organization, somebody in the department, or with anybody with whom you have a formal and professional relationship. This we will be discussing at length right now. Okay, what formal email writing is. Informal is, needless to say, this is for your family, friends only, family and friends only, okay? With whomsoever you are pretty comfortable with things, okay? Now, semi-formal is when you are basically talking within the teams or maybe organizations with somebody. You don't share a too formal relationship, but not even informal, right? So with your colleagues, when you're working day in, day out together, you kind of share a semi-formal relationship with them. That's not very formal. That's not at all informal, but that's semi-formal, right? So when you're talking to your colleagues or probably with any client also that you're very comfortable with and you've been working with them for years and years and years, so that you have to decide what kind of relationship you have with the person. So semi-formal is that. Now, underneath this, what is the difference? Informal, needless to say, the language has to be formal. When I say formal language, what I means is that your grammar should be correct, your sentence formations should be correct, your spelling errors, there should be no spelling errors. The purpose of writing has to be very clear. It has to be content. It has to be precise. Okay. If you have to write long emails to somebody, then Ankit, I'm just coming on semi-formal. Don't worry. If you have to write long emails, okay, to anybody, right? Then writing an email does not make sense. Then you should better talk to somebody about it. We will be coming on the do's and don'ts. Don't worry about it. Okay. So speaking of don't write too long email. It has to be precise and it has to be clear. It has to be content, right? And what is not allowed in the formal email is what are no's. No abbreviations. Abbreviations mean no short forms of any words. Okay. No contractions. Now, what contractions are? Contractions are don't, can't, doesn't. Okay. You have to write do not, cannot, does not. Am I clear? Yes. So this is what it is. No emoticons. No slang language. Okay. These are like no emoticons means don't start making smileys to the clients, right? You never make any kind of a face when you're writing an email, right? You can do that if you are doing a informal writing, not even for semi-formal. Okay, so this you need to take care of that. Everything has to be within the boundaries of what we call it formal etiquettes. Am I clear? Yes. Okay. Now, based on this, you have to tell me what all do you think is allowed in formal email writing? Quickly tell me. What kind of a language you can use, what kind of purpose of writing you should have, and what are the no's or do yes for the informal writing. Quickly, tell me. Quickly tell me, what kind of a language do you think we can use in the informal writing? Informal. I've asked about in the informal mail. Jargons you can use in your formal also. Why would you use it in informal email writing? Okay. In informal emails, there is no specific rule that you need to follow. Am I clear? There's no rule that you need to follow in this thing. You can use casual language. You can use informal language. Okay. You can use slang, abbreviation, whatever you want, but this is informal. You're writing to your family and your friends at the end of the day. So there is nothing that you need to follow. The only thing is that you should be clear about is the purpose of writing. That's all. Otherwise, there is no rule. Yes, you can use friendly and personal language. Emoticons can be used. Definitely, yes, Priyanka. So, but besides that, it totally depends on you why you are writing, what language and style you want. But purpose should be clear. Am I clear? Yes. Now let's come on to the semi-formal writing. Now in semi-formal, you of course you have to keep the emails brief. The language should be formal. Now I told you that semi-formal is when you share a relationship of formal but little informal also. So that becomes the semi-formal, but the language has to be formal. At the end of the day, you are talking to your colleague, you're not talking to your friends. So you have to make sure that your language is formal when you are writing. Okay. But with formal, it can be a little friendly too. Okay, you cannot be like so casual about it. You're writing anything or everything on the earth. However, maintaining etiquette is essential. The purpose of email and message should be clear. Now, you have to maintain the etiquettes in the writing, which we did not specify in formal writing. Then, of course, your purpose should be clear. Your intent should be clear while you're writing an email. Am I clear? So semi-formal is basically you are somewhere in the middle of formal and informal writing. Am I clear? Are we clear about these three types of email writing? No problem. No problem, Kushagra. I get it. Okay. Yes, of course, business English can be used in formal writing. In the formal writing, you cannot use casual language. No, Ankit. That's exactly what I said. Okay. Now, so this was about all the three types of email writing. Now, let's look at this. Now, this I've already explained it to you, but just to be on just to reinforce it again, it's short for email writing. It's the common use or means of communication these days. Is fast, immediate, allows you to interact with all kinds of businesses. Now, irrespective of what your business is, you can use this email writing. It requires certain skills, being professional setup. Now, you need to have certain skills when you're writing a formal email writing. Essential not to commit mistakes. It's try very hard not to make any mistakes in your email. Vital aspect of business communication. Now, this is the most important and significant part of business communication these days. Now, formal email. Why one should choose it? Because this is the right choice for some business situations. Like I said, what business situations are we talking about? Now, there are two people working on the same project. Out of the two partners, one partner is traveling abroad to meet the client, the other was in the head office. Now, how do you communicate? How do you maintain on one page all the time? Like, probably you are having meeting right there and I am sleeping here. You can just write me an email saying that, this was what happened in the meeting. So whenever I get up, I can read the email and respond to it. The other thing is, of course, you are communicating with the US client sitting here or in the UK or Canada, or wherever. And communicating on emails are much easier because at times, not everybody is available to take the phones every time, right? But email, anybody can read, and then, you've already shared whatever you want to say it on it. Now, when you should use the emails, or more specifically, when you are sending an email to someone you don't know well or to someone in authority, always, instead of calling somebody or instead of, right away reaching to somebody's office or home, this is a good way you can approach people via writing emails. People actually listen to it. People actually read it and respond to it also. So email is a very powerful tool. What you should not do in the informal email writing is abbreviations, contractions, slang, emoticons, and other informal terminology is a no. Use complete sentences and proper grammar. In email writing, complete sentences and proper grammar is very important. Am I clear? Yes. Now, I want you to read these two statements. Tell me which one is formal and which one is informal. Also, you have to tell me why, what are the things that you have noticed in the formal sentence and the informal sentence? Quickly. Which sentence is formal and which is informal? Now, the meeting is scheduled for December 5th at 9:30 a.m. All students must attend. Your project updates are needed. Required meeting December 5, 9:30 a.m. Updates needed. See you there. Now, of course, in this one, we have, this is formal and this is informal. Now, in informal, notice abbreviations, the short forms, no proper sentences. See ya there is casual language, informal language, and then there's emoticons, and there are no proper sentences. Whom are you addressing? What are you trying to say? What is the purpose of the meeting? Now, here, the meeting is scheduled for December 5th at 9:30 a.m. All students must attend. Your project updates are needed. Now, this one gives you complete information that when is the meeting scheduled, what time, who is supposed to attend, and what is going to happen in that meeting. Am I clear? So this is the difference between formal and informal language. Now, let's talk about the format of emails. I'm sure all of you write emails and you all know what emails are and what is the format of emails. But this has to be done because, of course, we are teaching you this formally. Now, let's start with the basic thing, which is from. From comes the sender's name or email ID that comes automatically. You don't have to do it because you have already logged into your emails. Now, to, you have to write the receiver's email or now email ID. What did I do? One second. Okay. Now, in this sense, if in your contact list of your emails, if you've already saved the email ID, then you just see the person's name also. So, for example, my name is Prachi, okay, and the ID is Prachi. Okay, let's just say this is the email ID. If somebody has stored this email ID in my name, then I can just simply click on Prachi and then my email ID will appear here. Otherwise, email IDs. We only work on the working email IDs only, right? Now, what is CC? CC is the carbon copy. Now, CC is, as the name suggests, carbon copy. So you are sending the same email to other people also. Okay. Now, in BCC is also blank carbon copy. In both the cases, you are marking other people also so that they can also see the email, what is being shared. But what is the difference between CC and BCC? Now, CC is the receiver of the email can see who all has received these emails. Am I clear? But in BCC, the receiver will not get to know who else received these emails. Am I clear? Yes. Okay. Look at this. Now, A sends email to B. Okay. In CC, A marks C and D. In BCC, A marks Y and Z. Okay. Now, the same email has been sent to all of these people. Okay. By A. So A is the sender. Okay. B is the receiver. Am I clear? Yes. So these are the two main people and CC. Now B can see that C and D has also received the same email. B knows that C and D has received the same email, but B does not know about these two. No. Okay. Neither C and D knows about it, nor B knows about it. But B knows about C and D, C and D knows about B. Okay. But B, C, C, Y and Z doesn't know who sent the email. Am I clear? Yes. Any problem so far? Are we clear about CC and BCC? Okay. Then comes the subject. Now, subject is the kind of a main heading of your or main title of your email, right? Now, subject line is very important. Again, just the way the title of article writing is very important. If your subject line does not specify what this email is about, and you know why the other person should even read your email, nobody will read open your email. I don't know about you, but I get like so many marketing emails also in my email ID, and in the middle of that, if there is any email whose subject line is not appropriate, then I don't even open it, right? But if I see that, okay, I'll read the subject line and I feel that, okay, this seems interesting, let me read what it is about, even if it is about some sale or if any brand. If the subject line is good enough, I read it. If it does not, I don't. Okay, we will be discussing this one by one at length, how things should be. Then comes the salutation. Salutation is when you're addressing somebody and you're starting your email. Then comes the main body, closing, and attachments. Now, these we will discuss. Attachments. What are attachments? In email, you can attach as many as photos, PDF files, Word files, okay, documents, whatever you want, scan documents. So you can attach the things, whatever you want in the email. This is why emails are more effective. Even if I want to send like 500 pages of document, okay, sending by courier will be expensive. One. Second, it will take some time to reach. But in email, I can just send it with a click away, right? Raj, when you open your email, you'll see on the top only who's the sender, who's the receiver, and then what is CC and BCC and everything. Okay. Are we clear about the format of the email? Yeah. Okay. I think some of you might want to know how this works. Uh, Let me just see if I can show you the. Okay. Let's see this. Okay. See this now. I'll just show you how it is. Okay. Okay. So if you see this, there is two, there is CC, there is two, there is CC, there is BCC, there is from, and then there is subject line, and then comes the body of the email. Am I clear? So usually in the email writing, you have two Okay, then you have CC, then you have BCC option, then there is a from option, and on some at some places from is above also, and then there are two this thing, and then comes the subject line. Everything is in order, and then there is a box for the main email that you need to write, whatever you want to write. Then there is, of course, the option of like a pin, which says you can attach anything you want. So you can just click on it and attach your documents. Am I clear? Yes. I will be discussing everything one by one. Don't worry. Now let's start with the subject line. Like I just told you, the subject line is the most important part of your email writing. Okay, a good subject line can entice people to open your email to read. If your subject line is appropriate, then people would like to read it. Okay, and they'll see what it is and they'll like to read and go through it. Right. But if your subject line is not appropriate and if it is not good or interestingly written, then nobody will open your email. Simple. Right. A bad subject line can land up your email in a spam or a trash. Yes. So, what does a good line do, and what does a bad subject line do? Spend double time while crafting the right subject line. Like whatever time it takes to write the email, spend more time on writing the subject line, because that will, especially if you're approaching somebody for the first time, or especially if you're writing somebody in the authority. Am I clear? Every time you're discussing a new topic, change the subject line. So what we generally do is that when we're discussing the same thing, there are back and forth discussions happening, we don't change the subject line. But if the discussion is being changed, then we change our subject line. That, discussion has been changed from this topic to that topic. Am I clear? Yes. Right. What margin are we talking about here, Ayushi? Okay, now it's activity. For example, you're writing an email to apply for a job. Okay, you are basically applying for a job for the position of okay, teacher. Okay, and you have seen the ad somewhere in the newspaper that there is an opening in this particular organization for a teacher. You have to send your resume. What will be the subject line of your email? What will you write the subject line in your email of your email? Quick, guys. Quickly. What will be your subject line if you're writing, if you're applying for the job of a teacher in an organization? Quick, quick, quick. This is quite easy. I don't know why was it taking so much of time. Regarding post-studium, Omvati, right? Application for a job of primary teacher or applying for the position of primary teacher. Application for the teaching job, application for the post of teacher. Very good, Chandan. Or applying for the position of whatever the position is, teacher. Right. So this is what the subject line is about. We will do more exercises. Now let's come on to the salutations part. Now, salutation is when you're addressing somebody. Like, for example, directly addressing person you are sending the email to, you should directly address the person whom you are sending the email. Don't send any generic email that is being sent to 100 more people around you. Make it personalized so that, the person gets connected to your email. Dear Prachi, dear Ayushi, dear Jyoti, or, dear Miss Singh. So anything like that you can actually use to personalize your email. In case after trying a lot, you do not find the person to whom you're supposed to write the email, then you can use dear sir or ma'am. Sanjay, your subject line is too big. Requesting for a job vacancy in an organization for teacher. No, you're not requesting. You're applying for the position. Okay, there is no request. All right. Okay, so you can use words like dear students if you're writing an email to the entire class. Dear Ms. Jones, hi Mr. Smith. If you don't know the person whom you're sending the email, please try to find out. In case you do not, then you can use this. Suppose you're addressing the person whose neighbor is Sanjay Garg. You will write, okay, now this is very important. Half of the people always get this thing wrong. Now, for example, the person's name is Sanjay Garg. Okay, there are two ways of writing the email, addressing the person. Dear Mr. Garg or Dear Sanjay. Okay, either you say dear with the first name or you use dear with the title and the person's last name. Okay, yes. Am I clear? Right. So please make sure when you're writing an email, you take care of these things. Otherwise, dear sir, ma'am, whatever you want. Okay, now body is very important. How you convey what you are trying to say in less words, but effectively. Now, introduce yourself if you're writing to somebody for the first time. Who are you? You are in which organization? Why are you writing an email? Introduce yourself. Then introduce the main agenda of the email. Why are you writing this email? I'm writing this email to bring you a notice about this, or I'm writing this email to show my interest in the job that you had about which you have posted in the newspaper. Be clear and concise. Always for anything irrespective, you have to be clear and concise only. Divide paragraphs in email according to the points discussed. Paragraph dividing of the paragraph for any writing skill or for email is very important. This makes it very clear. In email writing, divide your paragraph in the way you according to the points that you want to discuss in the email, so that when the person is reading the email and when the person is going to respond to your email, that person doesn't get lost or doesn't miss out to anything important. Each paragraph should have only one point of discussion. Each paragraph should have one discussion only, not more than that. You want to discuss something else, change the paragraph. Close and sign off the email with proper and suitable sentences, like, looking forward to hear from you soon. Hope to see you soon. Hope to hear from you soon. I'm looking forward for a positive response from your side. Okay. Keep a check on your use, grammar, uh, spelling, and punctuation. This is regardless of anything. Am I clear? Then comes the closing. Now, closing is about, just as you want to start things off on a good note, always end on a good note as well. Friendly sign off, like thanks, best regards, sincerely. Always use such words before you sign. Choose closing that feels genuine to your personality and tailor it to your relationship. Ensure the professionalism. Now, it totally depends on what kind of email you're writing, what you are expecting to hear from the person, or what kind of a relation you share from the person. Choose accordingly. Right? Any problems so far? Anything that you want me to discuss? Are we clear till here? And then after this, we will be, so this was about the basic of email writing. Subject line, body, and closing. These little things that you need to remember while writing an email. Are we clear? Okay. Now, let's do one thing. Let's take a 5 minutes break and then come back, and I will be discussing each and every point again with you in details. Okay. And we'll do some practice also. Okay, let's take a 5 minutes break and come back, and then we will start again. Okay. Uh, no, Bhumika, that's a very rightly asked question. So, Bhumika asked that can we use the full name if, for example, we have Sanjay Garg as the name to whom we are writing the email. Can I say, Dear Mr. Sanjay Garg? No, you cannot. Either you have to say Dear Sanjay or you have to say Dear Mr. Garg. Am I clear? Okay. So now let's move on to the options that we can discuss, that what all things can be used when we are talking about greetings, or when you're starting a topic, what all things you can do. Right now, before the break, I explained you about the format, what is a format and what are the essentials of the email writing. But now we will be discussing what are options and how you can put across whatever you want to say. Okay, greetings. You can start by saying, Dear Jones, the first name. Hi, Amit. Dear Professor Jain. So Professor Jain, now Professor is also a title, somebody's designation or title. Dear Miss Sharma. Okay, so this is how you can address people. Or besides this, if you do not know what the person's name is, or if you're writing to somebody at a very high authority, for example, you're writing in an email to your principal, you cannot say dear so and so. You can't name your principal, right? As a student. So in that case, of course, you will use dear sir and ma'am only. Depending on who your principal is. Am I clear? Okay. Now, introducing a topic and informing how you start an email. You can start by saying, this is to inform you that this is to inform you that we are on the verge of a completion of a project, right? Just to let you know that I will be coming for the meeting tomorrow. Yes. Good news, bad news, I've got a news for you. So, whatever news that you have, you want to share about promotion, or you want to share as an HR, you want to tell somebody that you've been promoted. So good news. Am I clear? You can start if the email is about following up with the previous discussion or email. As discussed, to follow up on your meeting discussion as required, or regarding or in regards to. This is how you can start your emails when you are basically forwarding the last conversation again. Asking or requesting. I would like to know could you please let me know could you confirm if and when, could you give me an update or a quote or an estimate, right? When you're asking for something. Am I clear? Yes. So this is what it is for, because you will be writing email for different purposes. So you should know that how you can put across what you want to say in the right way. Starting an email on the right note is very important. Okay, in the right way, in the right note is very important. So with this starting your email, anybody can judge what this mail is going to be about. Saying thanks. Now, thanks for getting back to me. I'm grateful for the information. Thank you for the update. I'm glad to receive this email. Thank you. Following up on this. Thanks for following up on me or with me. So you can always say thanks like this, and that's how you can start the email. Ending. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'll let you know. Let me know. Keep me posted. Thanks, regards. All the best. Now, these are the all endings. How you can end your email. What all can you say in the end? Am I clear? Now, there's one thing that has been left here after closing also. I'll just discuss it here. At the end, you have to sign. Okay. So signature is very important. Okay. In signatures, after you've written like yours sincerely or thanks or regards, whatever you want to, right? First, you have to use your full name. Okay. Your designation. Okay, if you are with any company, then company's name, phone numbers, this thing. So all of this information should be there underneath. Okay. Otherwise, at least your full name and your phone number should be there. Okay, that's very important. If somebody wants to reach out to you, how will they reach out to you? Right? But if you can write your designation and your company's name and then everything else, that is very good. If you cannot, then at least write your name and number. Name and number is very important when it comes to signatures. Clear? Okay. So are we clear till here? Any problems that you have? Vidhi, why would you use yours sincerely for a friend? Sanjana, what is meant by agenda is that what are we going to talk? What is the main aim for the meeting? Or what is going to be the main point of discussion in the meeting? Every meeting need to have something important to discuss. Okay. Now let's talk about the common mistakes. Now, which are the common mistakes that people usually make while writing an email? Because I'm repeating this again and again. Poor subject line. Not personalizing your greetings. It seems very bad. These days, have you noticed that you received some marketing emails, for example, from Amazon or Flipkart? The email always starts from your name. Every email. Right? Now, it doesn't make sense that they are sending one email personally to everyone. Like they send to lakhs of people every day, the same email. It's not possible for somebody to keep writing these emails, keep sending it over and over again. Of course, just send it one email to everyone at one time. But when we receive it, we received personalized emails. Now, that's the internet or that's the, the mail setting that you need to. I'm not talking about the settings here that you can do. I can send one email to 50 people and everybody will receive from their first name only. Right? So that's a mail setting. But why have they started doing this? So that the person who's reading the email gets a personalized feeling. Right? Otherwise, what used to happen was these guys used to keep sending the emails and nobody used to open it. Right? That, it's a general email, sabko aa raha hai, and, all of that. But they started making it personal so that people take it seriously. That, this email is meant for me. So I should look at it. So personalizing your greeting is very important wherever you can. Announcing too much in one message. Now, you don't have to announce too much in one message. This is an email. Nobody wants to read a story there. Okay, just talk about the main point and finish. If there is a very long discussion that you have to do, please call. Okay, never discuss complicated things or discuss something very big and vast on the emails. Am I clear? That will create confusion. Employing ambiguous language. Now you're talking about something which is not clear is totally wrong. Copy and pasting. Of course, you are copy pasting the things in the email. Again, not good. Forgetting to explain the attachment. Now, this is very important. Half of the times what happens is that we end up writing, please find attached the required documents. Now, in your body, whenever you think that in that email you're going to attach few documents, please mention one line about the attachment. Please find attached. Please find attached my resume. Please find attached the documents required. Or you can simply just say, please find attached also after talking about the documents that you are attached. Right? Now, what happens is at times we write this line, but we forget to attach the things. And the second thing, we attach the documents, but we forget to mention that email. So that is wrong. That is a big disaster. So if you're attaching the things, please carefully check that if you have mentioned it in the email only or not. And if you're mentioning it in the email, please make sure that you see it that the attachments are there or not. Am I clear? Using jargon words. Now, if you are writing email to somebody else that who doesn't understand the jargon words, then the email will be wrong. For example, you are a businessman. You're writing an email to somebody, to some client from whom you want to get some business, right? You're using jargon words that are very, your business people coming from your industry can only understand. The client will not understand. You're using words with client. The entire email will go wrong. The client will not understand. Ayushi, please specify the page number that you're talking about. Failing to use signatures. You've written the email and you forgot to write your own name and at the end your phone and number. That is again very wrong. Having a poor email format, that there's no format, that you have not put in the subject line, there's no greeting, there is no salutation, there is no opening, there's no ending. So if there's not a format, then again the email is very bad. Neglecting proofreading. Always read whatever you write. Okay, proofreading is very important to find your own mistakes. Am I clear? Ayushi, I'm waiting for you. Okay, so then in till time Ayushi comes up with the page number, let's look at this exercise. I want you to read this, page 1. Yeah, what's the problem in that page 11.8? Ankit, there's no one limit on emails writing, but you need to be very short. I don't get your point, Ayushi. The page is in front of me. Please specify what you're trying to say here. 2 is the email writing. The 2 is basically they're talking about the sender's, the receiver's name. Because the sender's name is automatically picked by the Gmail only. That you don't need to write. So 2 is to whom you're writing, then CC and BCC, and then the subject. And then hi, Amit. Okay. Now quickly read this email and then tell me the mistakes. What are the mistakes in this email? I usually don't have to start with from. You have to start with to only. From is just to make you understand when you open your email writing. When you will open your own email, this is to make you understand that from is also mentioned there, because the person who's receiving the email will see from whom the email is getting. Okay. So it doesn't matter for your, when you're writing it on your own in your exams, you're not supposed to write from to. And in most of the cases, you will be asked to just write the subject line and then you have to draft the email. What matters is the content, how you will write the subject line and what will be your content of the email. That is more important. The rest is the already things are given to you on the emails. You can just write CC and VCs and leave it blank. Yes, the language is informal. No, I don't think that's required, Ankit. Yes, so mistakes. Yes, there's no, so basically, language is very informal. There are no proper paragraphs. The entire information is so lost. Like she's discussing so many things. She's talking about the business cards. Then she's talking about the order, the quantity. Then she's talking about it, what will be the cost. And then she wants to discuss about, will the color and logo be extra? Will that be included in the cost that is being given? Or that will be given? Uh, and she also wants to see some an example or a sample before the entire thing is shipped, before she places the order. Uh, and then she wants to end by saying that, she wants to work with them, she wants to give them the order, but that's not a good way of putting it across. And it's not Dear Sally Blue. Now, either it's Dear Miss Blue or Dear Sally. And then when there's a, signature, the signature is incomplete. There is no phone number, designation, nothing is given here. Can you all see these mistakes here? Okay. Anything else that you can spot in the mistakes? Okay. Now let's look at the correct version of it. Dear Miss Blue, you are writing to somebody for the first time, and so it's recommended that you use Miss or Mr. So something that to address with, which is more formal. Otherwise, you can take the first name also, but writing with the title and the last name is more formal. I was searching online for a company that makes business cards. I came across your website and I'm extremely impressed. However, I do have a few questions. Now, in the first paragraph, the writer, the sender, introduces himself and basically talks about it from where they get to know. He got to know about this person. The next paragraph is, if I were to order only 500 instead of the advertised 1,000 business cards, how much would that cost? Now, this is the first query. Okay. Furthermore, I would like my business cards to be colored and include the logo of my company. Are those requests possible? If so, how much extra will they be? Second concern. Due to my request of color and logo, I would like to preview the card before receiving all 500. Is that feasible? Third thing. I appreciate your assistance and look forward to hearing back from you. Am I clear? Look at this. Now, there's a proper closing, and sincerely, Jessica Hinks, Managing Partner, First Financial Assistance, and the phone number. Now, everything has been properly. The introduction is proper. Then there are 3 paragraphs about the concerns. Then there is last line of closing, which is that you want to hear from the person again. This is warm, nicely done. It's professional, right? If you see, it's a very short email, right? One liners, two liners. That's it. And that's how the email should be. It should be short and crisp. You don't have to write an entire story about it. Okay. Are we clear? If you want to just read once. Then we'll move ahead. Quickly. Okay. Look at this next email. Again, tell me what is the problem. Tell me what is the mistake. There's no proper information in the email. Okay. Language is informal. Abbreviation is used. Closing is so bad. Informal language use of. All right. Do you think you can say hello to your professor? Do you think you should use hello for your professor? And the language, see ya. Right. Good, good. Great. Okay. Okay, look at this. Dear Professor Smith, I'm sorry to inform you, but I will not be able to attend the class today because I am ill. Would it be possible for you to let me know what I have missed? Thank you for your help, and I will see you in class on Wednesday. Sincerely, Jason Jones. Right? Right, that's true. So this is a respectful email. The last email, if you see, hello, Professor Smith, I'm sorry to tell you that I'm sick and will not be able to attend to the class. See you Wednesday. He's not your friend. He's your teacher, right? There is no information about that. What is the problem? When will it be? I mean, why is this person even writing the email? Right. So in the second one is very clear that I'm very sorry to miss this class and I would like to just know what I've missed. Can you just tell me later on or explain the topics that I've missed? Yeah. So it's a very proper email that has been written here. Ayushi, yes, that's a good thing. I was going to come on that. Do you think still anything is missing here? Phone number. Phone number should always be there if there's anything the other person wants to tell you on call. Anything else? Do you think anything else is missing here? Okay, are we done? All right. Now I want to share something else with you. One second. One second. I'm just sharing. Okay. Now, there are a few things that you need to remember about the formal email writing. Okay. Few things that I've already discussed and few things that I would like to just explain it to you once again before our class ends. Okay. Now, be clear about the purpose of writing email. Of course, be it be formal email, be it be informal email, be it be semi-formal email, you need to be clear about what you're writing and why you're writing. Make points about information that needs to be included. Make the points of the information that you need to include, just the way I told you that in the first email, there was a proper paragraphs given. Your tone and language should be suitable for the intended recipient. Now, your tone and the language is the most important thing. If you are in a position of authority, maybe you can choose your tone. But if you are in a position of employee and you're writing to your boss, you cannot order the person. You cannot say that, I want you to check my documents, or, you have to be very polite and you have to see what kind of language you're using for the recipient. Use your official ID for all work written emails. You should always have a proper email ID for work written emails. Some people add some very funky words in their email IDs. That is not good for your work. So if it's work, then pick your proper email ID, like Sanjay Joshi, if the person's name is sanjay.joshi@gmail.com. Yeah. You can use proper salutation. Keep the mail short and simple. The mail has to be short and simple. Nobody has time to read lengthy, confusing, and complicated emails, right? If the person does not understand your email in one reading, then the other person, then it will be very confusing for you to read. Am I clear? And the person might not be interested in your email. Okay. Now, keep your mails short or explain. Sorry. Use short sentences to convey your message clearly and concisely. The sentences are supposed to be short. Don't make lengthy sentences. Now, the best part is that when we were doing article also, or doing report also, always use short sentences because they are better in clarity instead of making long sentences. State the subject and objective of writing an email clearly in the open paragraph. In the opening paragraph, your intent should be clear that why you're writing this email. Use separate paragraphs for stating different points. The content of the email should be logical and systematically organized. Now, the questions should be asked in a very systematically and sequentially manner. Am I clear? In the sequence, it should be. There has to be a system of why you're writing the emails. Clear? Do not write the entire email in capital letters. When you write a letter in capital letters, people assume that you're being very rude or you're shouting at somebody. Never do that. Highlight and underline the key points. Now, you can underline the key points in your email. That you can do. You can underline also, you can highlight also. Take special care of tone. See, this point has come again. Whatever you are writing, whatever email that you're writing, that comes on the record. Okay, somebody is going to save that email. So make sure your your tone is polite, pleasant, and it reflects what you are intent to say. Ensure you're always polite, regardless of seriousness of the matter. No matter you want to scream at somebody, no matter how much you want to, be angry at somebody, always ensure that you're polite on the emails. Proofread your email, check for the grammar, spelling, punctuation errors. An email with full of errors would communicate that you are careless and you do not pay attention to details. In a email that has a lot of errors, people take a bad impression of the person. Am I clear? Yes. When you're framing a reply to a received email, ensure you answer the queries or requests in it. So, for example, you have received an email that has a lot of queries and you are writing an email in return, then make sure that you answer everything in different paragraphs. Do not use slang, incomprehensible abbreviations, SMS language. No. No casual language. Am I clear? Are we clear till here? Priyanka, what is your question? I can see your question. Where is it? You've just sent the response. There's no question that you have asked. And Umbati, you write subject in the subject line. What box? No, there's no box that you have to make for it. Okay. Now, are we clear till here? Can we move on? So next is emails are effective means of communication when. Now, when all emails are effective and when all you should use emails. When you're sending information to a larger group of people. Now, you want to write an email that goes to about 100 students, right? So you can just write one general email to everybody and everybody gets the information. You wish to send someone an electronic file, bulky file, or detailed information about any project, course, or product. You want to send something very important, urgent, and it's very heavy. Also, there are too many papers in it. What title in emails? For the title, you have subject line. It also makes it easier to contact people who are otherwise not approachable due to distances, busy schedule, different time zones. Remember, I told you this. You can actually approach people through emails, people who are in different time zones. At times, phones are not comfortable because when you want to call, the other person is sleeping, the other person wants to call, you are sleeping, the other person is busy, you have different timings. So you can write an email always because that reaches to the person. You require daily communication of varied matters in an organization. Now, every day you want a communication on the emails that what has happened, right? So emails is the best thing to do because everything is on the record also and everybody is on the same page also. You need a written record of information. This I've already shared it with you. Emails are inappropriate when you're talking about a complicated issue, you are doing you want to do some lengthy discussion. Emails are not for those situations. Information is confidential and sensitive in nature when you want to discuss something that is confidential and sensitive in nature, because no matter how much we like emails, that's also unsafe. For example, you are working on your system and you had a call and you walked out, somebody uses your system and forwards that email to somebody else, so your confidential information can be passed on. And a lot of information is stored in the server even if you delete it, right? So the information can be misused. Okay, do not write an email when you are emotional. So do not write email when you are upset, when you're too happy, when you're too stressed, or you're angry at somebody, because that is the time you can actually use, bad language, or, your tone can be inappropriate. So any mistake. So, and if you're too happy, then you might get very friendly and too casual about things. So don't do that also. Am I clear? Are we clear till here, guys? So this was about formal email writing. Any queries that you have? I'll wait for 2 minutes. In case you have any queries, you can ask me now. Quickly, if there is any problem, you can ask me now. Otherwise, I'll move on. Yes, of course, Kushagri, you have to write the email address only. If you write only the person's name, it will not reach to the person, obviously. Format. Okay. Samir, you wanted to see the format. Priyanka, can you send the question again? Ankit, yes, practice is required in email writing, of course. Um, I think 4. This was, I'm not sure, 4 or 5. Yes, 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 you have to. Of course. Write email ID only. Ankit, practice is required in anything that you are preparing for. So you need to practice. Okay, anything else? Any other question? I'm waiting. Okay, now I have a practice question for you. So I'm going to give you a question. You have to tell me about the content, that if you're drafting the body of the email, that how will you divide the paragraphs and what all will you write? Okay. So you are mm, let me pick any question from your mock test papers. Okay, so you are basically supposed to. Okay, so you have to apply to a CA for your articleship. That and you want to join a CA for the articleship, and you want to write them an email that if they can give the position of article to you. So what will you write to this person, to the CA? You have to request them for giving you a position of article. No, Samir, you will be simply given a question that you have to draft an email. Bhumika, I've given you the question. You have to write to a CA to request him so that he gives you the position of article in his office. Quickly. What will you write in the email? What will be your subject line and what will you write in the email if you have to apply for your articleship to a CA? Come on. Yeah, because I have stopped sharing the screen. Information about myself. Why should I be hired? My marks in intermediate groups. Okay. And your subject line, Kushagra? Quickly. I've got only one response. Come on. Kushagra, how will you close your email? What will you write in the end? Uh, that's good to me. Application for C articleship program. Okay. No, 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 no. Application for article position is good, Priyanka. There's no one else. Okay, yeah. I hope that you. That's actually good, Kushakra. Very good. Okay, so simply that what you have to do is you have to apply, and then of course you have to share details about yourself. You have to introduce yourself, and then you have to talk about that you are in which group right now in CA, and why you're looking forward to join this particular CA. You have to mention in the email why the person should consider you. Why do you want to join this person? That you can actually talk about in one line that you can express your interest to be hired by the CA. Why? So you should mention that also, and at the end you can just request, or you can just say that I'm looking forward to hear from you soon. Okay. Or I'm looking forward to hear a positive response from you. All right. So this was about formal email writing. It is a little easier than report writing and article writing or any other writing skills. All you have to remember is that subject line should be proper, the salutation should be proper, the opening and the closing should be proper, the signature should be proper. When it comes to the main content, then divide it according to your points of discussion. Divide your paragraphs, make it short and crisp. Be clear and be concise in your email writing. Now, this email writing is not limited to your exam. So, because this is something that will be part of you for whatever you do. It doesn't matter what you are, what you become in life. Email writing will become an integral part of whatever you do in life, in your whatever profession you are in. So, make sure that you make the most of from this chapter. Go read from your study material, look at the PPTs I will be sharing with you, look at the lecture again, do your own research, practice, because that is how you will be perfect. Okay. Prankaja, there's some little problem with the opening. You started with a great opening. This is to inform you that I am a CA aspirant, or you can say I'm writing this email, this is to inform that I'm a CA aspirant, and I'm writing this email to apply for the position of article in your prestigious office or your prestigious organization. And then you can talk about one or two lines about the CA that, I'm really looking forward to join you because I'll have you as my mentor. Having you as my mentor will be, will be great. You cannot say somebody, I want to join your organization. The person has not offered you a job, right? So you have to request the person why they should give you your position of article in their office. Right. So having said that, practice will make you guys better. Go home, practice, and look at the previous year's papers, look at the mock test papers, look at the revision test papers, look at the previous year's questions, and just practice and look at the things that the organization is looking for. Look at the answers, that suggested answers that are given in given on your websites, given on the ICS website. Go through all of that and prepare well for the exams. Wish you all the best. And Yeah. So let me know how was today's class, if everything was clear to you. If there is any problem, you can ask me. Otherwise, let's call it for a day. Frank, I like your ending. It's a good ending. Viswas, you need to work over your ending and opening both. Priyanka, your email looks like that, you don't want the article, you want the other person to be your mentor as per your own wish. This is not a very polite email. You are junior to this person whom you're writing the email. Your tone should be such. Okay, you want to request the person to hire you. Okay, so you don't say, I've received your suggestion from one of your clients. No, you don't say that. Maybe you can say that I've heard a lot about you, and having you as my mentor will be really helpful for me in my journey of becoming CA. Raghav, yes. For now, yes. Otherwise, you can do more. It totally depends on your practice, how you want to do it. All right, guys. Take care. All the best for your exams. And I hope you all clear your exams with flying colors. Bye. Take care.